Even if they came back and apologized and explained everything, it still wouldn't change the way you feel, not in the way you think it would. I want you to understand this because this will change everything. This will change the trajectory of your healing process. You think that it's about that person. You think it's about them taking accountability and apologizing to you and finally admitting their wrongdoing, their faults, that they were the issue. And I'm here to tell you that's not how the human mind works. You're going to have more questions for them. You're going to want more apologies. And you're going to be looking at the entire relationship wondering, was it just a lie? Was any of it real? And that person, that avoidant, is not going to be able to answer those questions for you. This is why I say that the closure that you're seeking comes from you. It's a relationship, you and you. It's yourself and yourself. That person doesn't have the answers. You're trying to extract answers from a person and clarity from a person who doesn't even understand their own patterns. They do not understand why they do what they do. They don't even know how they do it. They don't even know where it came from. And if they do get a little inkling that they understand the trauma in their childhood, guess what they do? They distract themselves. They go to one therapy session and then bail. Trust me, I'm a healing disorganized attacher. That's exactly what I did. They don't face their shadows. They don't face the painful stuff. They run from it. They avoid, they distract, they stay busy, they move on in another relationship, and they expect that person to be the thing that's going to finally heal them and shift them out of their pain, because they don't realize that they are the source of their pattern. They are the source of their pain. And if you're watching this and you want to take accountability, you have to understand that you're the source of your patterns and your pain. We're choosing people from a subconscious perspective. We think we're choosing our partners consciously. We think, I'm choosing the perfect person. They check all the boxes, right? Especially when we get to a certain point in life. I'm just going to check all the boxes and okay, this is good. It looks good on paper, even if something feels off. The majority of clients that come to me say, I did see the red flags, I chose to ignore them, and something felt off from the beginning. I can say that in my last 2 relationships. But I was so vulnerable and so needy and so desperate for connection and to be chosen and to feel loved, I didn't care. I just didn't want to be alone. And I have a feeling that if you're watching my channel, if you're new to my channel, by the way, have a look around. There's a lot to explore here. There's memberships I just opened up on the channel, no ads for any of those videos, and exclusive content. And I also work with people one-on-one. I'll drop those links below. And there's also some free audios, some hypnosis audios that I've created, and I'm creating a lot more, so you can check that out as well. It's an introduction to the work that I do, to the subconscious repatterning, to you being able to look at this from a different perspective. I can promise you this, all the other coaches out there who are telling you, go no contact to get your ex back, is bullshit. It's a waste of your time, it's a waste of your energy, it's a waste of your money. Going no contact will never get the avoidant back. In fact, that will satisfy their desire to feel peace. They're going to go, oh, thank God, I finally have peace. Because to them, peace isn't about reconciliation. Peace isn't about getting back together. Peace to them, it doesn't matter if it's been 6 months or 6 weeks or 6 years. Peace is about their nervous system being dysregulated. When they're away from someone, they're regulated. When they're near someone, they're dysregulated. This is why people cheat. Or at least this is why avoidants cheat, I should say, not everybody. There's lots of reasons, but this is why avoidants cheat. Because they feel dysregulated when they're in an intimate relationship for a specified period of time. But guess what? A new person doesn't trigger them. And a new person makes them feel special and chosen, and they feel, you're going to accept me. Because that person hasn't yet seen them, hasn't yet experienced their wounding, okay, their trauma. So that person isn't yet a trigger. You are the trigger. And what would happen, I guarantee, if this person apologized and came back, guess what would happen? You'd go through the same cycle again, except guess what? It would happen faster and be more furious and more painful than before. You'd get dropped on your ass on the cement, and they'd just be like skipping and hopping along into the future, you know, looking forward, distracting themselves with the next thing, the next soulmate. And this is the harsh truth, guys. I drop harsh truths on this channel so that you can heal. Because guess what? Sugarcoating it isn't going to help you heal. And there's a lot of people doing that as well. I will never sugarcoat it for you. I'm going to gently and lovingly, but ferociously push you out of any patterns that you have that are keeping you stuck. And also, the more you point fingers at that person, the less you're looking at yourself and introspecting. I don't know if that's a verb, but I just made it a verb. And the less introspecting you do, guess what? The more likely you are to repeat the same pattern and to end up in the same place 6 months from now, coming back to my channel, or a year from now, or 6 years from now, going, maybe I should have listened to her. I've lived it, guys. I've lived it. I married a dismissive avoidant as a disorganized attacher, aka fearful avoidant. I have lived it. I was anxiously attached for most of my adult life. When I met my husband, I became disorganized. I settled into the disorganized attacher. I'm not even sure exactly why, but that's just how our dynamic worked. It's why you feel different in different relationships, because your attachment system will get activated in different ways, or it won't get activated. Hallelujah. And that means you've moved towards secure and you chose a secure person, or a, I don't know if we're ever 100% secure. Okay. I don't know what the science exactly would say about that. I don't know if we're on this planet. You're going to get triggered. There's going to be moments where you're not secure. It's just going to happen. Okay. You're not Jesus. You're not a Buddhist monk living in the Himalayan mountains. And that's not even accurate, because if they came into the real world and got triggered, would they be able to be at peace? I don't know. Maybe they would. My guess is probably not in this world. So this is about you coming back to yourself and you realizing that it's not actually about what they say. It's about the whole experience and how it made you feel, how they made you feel. Well, I argue that people can't make you feel a certain way, but then I've had teachers and mentors that say they can. I'm not sure about that part, but it's about how the entire experience made you feel. And you got to be honest with yourself on this, because if this wasn't overall a positive experience, if it didn't bring out the best in you, if you had to dim your light or stay quiet or walk on eggshells in this relationship to try to please that person or to try to keep the peace, then this wasn't a healthy relationship. A lot of relationships out there are operating this way, and a lot of people aren't in healthy relationships, and guess what? Aren't happy. They've just stayed because of the kids, or because of the money, or because it's easier, or because I don't want to start over, or because they're terrified of being alone. An apology from an avoidant doesn't change the fact that you lost your sense of safety, right? You lost your sense of trust. You lost your sense of certainty. There's no repairing that. That person would have to do likely years of work, at least months of work to get started, right? Years of work to really get to the point where they can be prepared to have an actual healthy discourse, conversation, and relationship with you. So you have to learn to create this for yourself. The certainty, the clarity, the self-acceptance, the self-love, liking yourself, all of those things. That person was never prepared and never able to give you that. So I hope this video has been helpful. If so, guys, like, share, subscribe. Help me boost the channel organically. Let's get me up to 50K subs. Let's do that by the end of summer. That would be incredible. I surpassed 30. I think I'm at almost 30,200. Let's grow this channel. Let's reach more people. Let's create a stronger, more vibrant community of people who are self-aware, who are doing the work, not blaming others and pointing the finger, but choosing to do the work, so that you can find that healthy, loving partner and relationship, or at the very least, become that to yourself. The links I'll drop below, guys. If you're interested in working with me, I work with a limited number of people. The work is definitely intense. The work is powerful and transformative. And my programs are designed to help you change your life, to change your patterns, to get underneath the patterns, excavate what's holding those patterns, what's keeping them alive, connecting the dots, and then freeing you so that you never make this same choice again, so that you can start making healthier choices. I'll see you guys in the next video. If you have any questions or comments, or you want to just share your story and be seen and heard, there's supportive, beautiful people here who have been through likely what you've been through. All right, take care, guys. I'll see you in the next one.